you know. And I think partly that is my pain about Africa. You see, is we don't know our beauty. We really don't know it. And I think we've been in too much pain. When I was in art school, one of the things, because I'm a transition, during CODESA times, I was in art school, and my one facilitator, Becky Peterson, he was asking us if the UN had to come to us and say, what do we think would help South Africa cope with the ravages of apartheid, what would we say? And we all came with our things, and you know, I think I was too young to appreciate his response. His response was that he would make a recommendation that each and every South African have their personal psychologist. He said, because the things apartheid and colonialism did to us, you know, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. You know, when babies were being raped in South Africa, people they weren't understanding. Sometimes also with the xenophobia, people don't understand. You know, I think even us as South Africans, we don't want to understand what happened in apartheid. It's too painful. It's too painful. And I'll tell you the other thing we don't want to do. We don't want to admit our part in it. Serious. We don't want to. There are things we did to each other. Like my father's death. My father's death happened in the 80s. In the 80s, in South Africa, there was something called the Defiance Campaign. With the Defiance Campaign, the way people went missing. That was also when the apartheid government, that was when the CCB was its strongest, you know. People went missing. There were things called impimpis, you know. That's when necklace murders started. But the madness that happened in the 80s in South Africa, there's not one book about it, you know. There's not. My sister, I was at UWC 1985. I was there again 1987. That's when the Defiance Campaign started. I'll tell you, there's one thing that tortured me. Every morning I would wake up to the sound of a helicopter looming. There were marches, there were protests. That helicopter, you know, it's amazing. Things that torture you. It's that helicopter. It's not the tear gas. Why am I thinking these things? But in the 80s, there are things that happen in South Africa. I'll tell you, there was once, I was in school, I was in high school in 1984. I was in my last year of high school. I was young, my sister was 17. And I saw, that's when I first knew the name called Matthew Goniwe. There was Matthew Goniwe. There were 4 of them that were killed. They disappeared. And I saw this beautiful, beautiful protest in Johannesburg, near Edgar's. There was something called the Pigeon Park. You know, so we were in high school, we'd go and sit and just watch people. So there were these 4 poles, light poles, and these poles had 4 bodies hanging, not real bodies. Somebody, some creative, brilliant person created these bodies made out of stockings, and they hung those bodies from those 4 poles, and they wrote each person's name. And I know Matthew Goniwe was one of those names, you know, but it stuck in my mind. And If I had to describe the 80s in South Africa, that was it. That was it. It was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. And it was what happened in the 80s that gave birth to our freedom. I think, you know, it was just mad. It was mad. It was mad. The things we were doing to each other also. So that was South Africa then. And it's sad that we don't talk about it. Just like the ANC also doesn't talk about the things they did to each other within the ANC, you know. So it's important, I think. I think it's important that when you are fighting for freedom, it's important to be able to say, this is what my oppressor did, and this is what I did to myself and to my brothers. It's important. It's important for healing. And I think that's one of the things I don't like about Nelson Mandela's leadership. Yeah, is when he spoke reconciliation, it was always white-black. With the black person forgiving the white person, not the white person also reaching out to the black person, yeah? So Nelson Mandela never encouraged us as black people to talk to each other. He never thought it important. Or maybe where he was, you know, cushioned in jail, because he really was cushioned, and we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to hold our leaders accountable, because we don't even hold ourselves accountable. You know, with these fantastic victims, we can play victimhood so well, you know, that we don't look and say, what am I doing to contribute to the situation? How am I being an accomplice in the situation I find myself? You see, so while he was being cushioned in prison, there are horrible things we did to each other. And maybe he didn't bother to find out. Maybe we also were so drunk on freedom. We really were. We were drunk on freedom. We were mad. Even when you look at videos of Codesa, you know, you see them, it's like their tails are shaking. We are so excited that we gave away half the country. We did. Codesa, you're serious. If we can really look at the fine print in what happened during Codesa, sure, Sissy, you'll see South Africa didn't get free. South Africa wasn't a freedom movement. It wasn't change. It was a civil rights movement. We didn't fight to be free. We fought to be white, not to be free. We fought for everything the white man has. His cancer. We're getting more cancer now than we had before. Diabetes. You know, it is amazing that during the fight for freedom in South Africa, you would hear the Tokyos saying that what white parliamentarians are getting is crazy. Yet when they became those parliamentarians, they took everything the white man was getting. Is it really necessary to work a job and to stay for free, to live for free, to be poured petrol in your car for free? I'll tell you that freedom that they are using without tax money, there is one person that epitomizes it for me. Her name is Juma Peterson. She used to be Minister of Forestry and Fishing. Yeah. She lived in a hotel because there was something wrong in the free house. A window was broken or something, and they had to get Department of Public Works to come and fix it, yeah? All right? Do you know she went to live in a hotel to the tune of 1 million rand? How do you do that? How do you do it? So, that's South Africa. That's South Africa. I'll tell you one good thing because I love positivity also, yeah. One fantastic thing about South Africans, we are mind-blowing. We are mind-blowing. I'll give you an example. If somebody had to come in with an AK-47 right now and spray those bullets, we all would react differently. Now that's what apartheid was. It was that AK-47, and we all reacted differently. And there are such beautiful reactions. There are such beautiful, like there are South Africans that speak Russian fluently. There are South Africans, I'll tell you, ordinary South Africans, yet when you speak to them, they are so mind-blowing in their beauty, in their knowledge. And I'll tell you, I love that about us. I love it. We have different ways in which we express ourselves. Physically, we dress differently. Our faces are different, So I love the varied expressions of South Africanness.